check this out. In my last video, I showed you a bunch of my different automotive electronics repair tools. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use some of those tools, specifically the ones for soldering and desoldering. This is a scope. I promise there is a how to use a scope video coming, but that's not this one. We're going to take a look today at soldering specifically on circuit boards. If you want, check out this video right here, and that'll show you some on-vehicle soldering. So always, anytime you're using your soldering iron, before you turn it on, make sure everything, I already turned it on, that's warm, make sure everything is tight. Make sure that the ends, now you'll notice that there is no rust on the end of this soldering iron. Well, why is that? I see a lot of folks with the sponges, like that little sponge there, that just absolutely soak them and then try to clean, every time they go to solder, they clean the ends off of these and then they wonder why their soldering irons don't work so well. These little, that's not a Brillo pad, what the heck is that? Just some copper or stainless steel, that they're just awesome for being able to keep the end, the tip, nice and clean. And you always want to tin it. If you take a real close look there, you'll see a slight different color on the end of the soldering iron. That's because that end is tinned. So there are some times where I'll just apply a little bit of solder directly to the soldering iron and then I apply it to the board. Or, check this out, a couple ways of cleaning this. One, into that lovely little pad there. Two, you can just tap it. And you can see how the excess solder just fell right off. Don't use those little sponges. So on my circuit board here, I have a little Raspberry Pi Pico, and I'm going to use the breadboard to hold the legs in place. These little bits are called headers, and I saved like 13 cents by buying the Pico that did not have the headers pre-installed. So my breadboard is simply holding those in place. And now I put them in, and now I can heat them up and I can solder them. And what we want to make sure that we do is we don't want what's called a cold solder joint. So we want to heat both the little pin or the pad on this Pico, and we want to heat the pin at the same time. So we want to get them both warm and then just apply a tiny little bit of solder. You don't want to overdo it. Look at that, that's beautiful. I think I'm going to do the corners first so everything stays nice and level. And then we'll go back through and do the rest. So you can see the one that I've already soldered. You can see all the ones that haven't yet been soldered. And there's down on the end again. And that looks like I may not have gotten that to bond with the pin 100%. Which, by eye, I could not see that. So let's see if I can fix that. I'm going to add just a touch of solder to the tip of my soldering iron. And look at that melt into place. That could have caused some crazy intermittent problems for me had I not caught that. So right there, that kind of proves the value of that little microscope. That one, I'm not 100% on. We're going to add a little bit more. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Almost as good as the robots in the factories. If I could get it back out of my breadboard now, maybe this one just lives here. Okay, let's get into the fun stuff. Desoldering boards. So I want these lovely little stepper motors off of this. So what I am going to do here, a couple of different things you can do. Let's start with the solder wick. So these are pretty cool, and you don't have to put the flux on them, but I kind of also want to show you how the flux works. Come on. This one, I've had the needle on there for a little bit, so it kind of dried up. Let's grab a little flux. There we go. Oof, that's more than I needed. You do have to watch with the flux on the PCBs that you'd want to remove it because it can become acidic over time. So for that particular stepper motor, it's these 4 little pieces right here, those 4 legs. The other thing that would work here would be a solder vacuum, like this one that I showed you earlier. Let's have a look at, let's try them both. Let's see what we like better. So you can see right there how my solder melted. I'm going to put the vacuum down on it. And you see how that sucked that right away. If we look at that with the microscope, we can see how that leg has had the solder removed. Well, that one still has all of it. Let's try to remove one of the stepper motors with the solder vacuum, and we'll do the other one with the wick and see what's better. Okay, so that worked. That worked okay. And the legs are decently clean. There's a little bit of solder left on them. Let's go at this one now with the wick. So here, that was more flux than I needed. But did you see how fast that wicked up the solder, pun intended? Look at that. That is so cool. It also gets quite warm. FYI. Love watching that. Maybe I'll get tired of that one day. But that day's not today. And I'm going to say that those legs are a little bit cleaner than what the legs were using the solder vacuum. So both excellent tools, both have their place. If you're going to pick up a solder vacuum, I'd highly recommend grab one with a metal nozzle and not a cheap plastic nozzle like this, because as you can see there, that nozzle, you know, it's seen better days, and it's going to just continue to get worse. So that's pretty cool. What else can we do? What else have we got here? What if we wanted to take off a little chip? Chips. So there is a lot of solder in there. That one we could probably desolder. But what about that? Here comes our heat gun, or a rework gun as they are sometimes called. And then basically we can just go back and forth on either side of this and heat it up until it falls off. And there are different settings on different guns. I've got mine set to about 500. What does that mean? I don't know. I've just used it a few times there and it works. Some techs prefer a little bit more heat, some prefer a little more airflow, some prefer a little bit less. Bloop. Look at that. Wasn't that nice? That's also going to be really hot if you touch it. Should I do it? I'm going to do it. Oh, it's hot. Hot, 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 hot. Try not to melt those. That is a possibility while doing it this way. Here's another really good use for our solder wick. Would be cleaning up those contact pads. And you got to be careful when you pull the little chips off, like I just did. If you yank on that too hard before they're desoldered, it can rip those little pads apart. And those little pads are rather important. But we can see here using the microscope that those are still pretty messy. So let's see how we can clean that up. Probably would have been easier, since I'm scrapping this board, I could have got that out of the way, but what fun is that? Because if we were trying to actually fix this, we wouldn't be able to do that. I didn't even put any flux on this. I'm just heating it up, clean the old solder off of those pads. Let's have a look at what that first pass did for us. I could do another pass, but you can see how that looks a little bit cleaner than what the other side did. Let's see what happens if we use a little flux. Flux just helps everything flow better. A little flux was certainly the key there. check this out under the microscope. Look at how clean those pads are compared to what we had when it came off. Wow. So if we were going to reinstall this lovely little chip, or probably a new one that works, because ideally we're not removing that unless it doesn't, a little bit of solder, and as we heat these up, do you see how that solder is just jumping right onto those pads because of the flux? And you know, some other science and conductivity and heat and all those fancy big words. But look at that. Look at that. So there's the old line. And there's the pads that we've re-soldered. Use a little more solder there. But you're able to see what that process looks like. And then we could just use that heat gun to solder the new chip onto the board. See how that just fell right into place? That is a thing of beauty. And a little Q-tip and isopropyl alcohol would clean those right up. Get that flux right off of there. Anyways, I don't want this on there, so let's get that back off. Well, that pretty well summarizes all the cool tools that are in my little toolkit there. I'm pretty sure that you know how to use the stuff like the wire strippers, and if not, check out some of my other videos, wherever they may show up on this screen, and I'll help you out with those ones too. Let me know in the comments, what tools did I miss? What should I cover? What should I add to my toolbox? Always like hearing your experience.